Hi there, very quickly before the regular intro and all that, just want to say I apologize for the quality of my microphone for most of this video because it's going to sound out starting like this, but then it's going to sound like this eventually. And that's because I am now in a dorm room and unfortunately I can't clip my microphone arm onto this desk and it sucks. And I tried for the first part of this video, but eventually I had to use both of my hands to do things, and yeah, it's very annoying, so very, very sorry about that, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Hello, my name is Gerbstown, and today, this tutorial requires you to close Destiny 2. I know it might be hard for some of you people to do that, but please bear with me. So, you fool, this is actually a tutorial about map extraction. While it is technically in the realm of data mining, first off, I'd like to say you will not get banned for doing that. I know someone voiced their concern before, so I'm going to say this right now. You can't get banned for this. Anyways, so while it is in the realm of data mining, I believe that like map extraction and such is actually a very good tool to use in the realm of glitching. That is because you can sort of plan out, you know, what your route is. If you're doing IRBs, you can check what's global ground without doing it experimentally. You can also figure out like what else is out there in the maps before you go out and visit it in person. So the first prerequisite is to have Blender or Unreal Engine 5, but we're not covering that. And I believe there's no support for, like, I want to say Source or Unity, but, like, I don't know that either. I'm going to show how to pretty much import a map into Blender. Technically, as we'll cover, there is a little bit of, like, a preview, but it isn't as good. So, yeah. Anyways, first thing we're going to want to do is go to our local files here of Destiny 2, and we're going to locate the packages folder, and we're going to just hold on to that for now. And the second thing we're going to do is go ahead and download Charm. Charm is a program created by the very talented Monteven. Link, of course, in the description and all that. For the moment, it looks like it is Charm 1.2.4, but he updates it quite frequently, so most likely this will not be the... Yes, I know. Keep it. You might get a little bit of warning, but it's fine. It's because nobody really data mines. Anyways, so now we have Charm. I'm just going to open it up here in my downloads folder so that it's a fresh copy. And so when you first run the exe here, you are going to be shown this menu. So, oh yeah, they've got source too. Okay. So, today I'm only going to talk about general things because I am a Blender gamer. So, if you want to run those things, I will not be covering those. So, packages path, that is what we just found. It has this window here, so if you have that up, you can go ahead and copy your path just like that. And there we go. Select folder. There we go. Export save path. I'm going to make it just a new folder here for temporary reasons. And it kicks us out of the menu, but I'm going to go right back in. We do want to have it generate a Blender importing script. And the rest of these are fine. And then PNG because PNGs are good. Okay, so now that we're ready with this, let's go back. And we are presented with this page. And there's a lot of things, like if you want to look at all the entities in the game, you can go over here. Look at all the statics there, look at audio, other things. So you're going to go to activities because that's how we get our maps. I'm going to set down my microphone here. I'm back at college here, so my setup is not exactly ideal. I think I might post a picture here in the video just to show that it's not great. Anyways, let's we got this big old list of things. So let's go ahead and look at the EDZ. And we're going to say EDZ ambient because that will just show all of the maps in the EDZ. Takes a moment to load. On charm. There we go. Okay, so now we have this list of every load in the game. And so for the most part, now you just have to figure out what you're doing, what you want to do, what you want to look at, all that fun stuff. But um, the very interesting things are these ones that just have a hash and like an internal name. So obviously this is what's seen in the game, and then this is like the internal name for it. So if we go to Forge, hit that little view button. Basic camera controls, by the way, is just zooming in and out and then using right click. And then also, I believe, shift right click. Yes. But if you look at that, it's galaxy pools. So, when we first got this tool, there were two specific loads that we had no idea what they were. That would be Shard and Sunken. So if you take a look at Shard, you're going to notice that it's just like really whack, and then on the inside it's like very weird. And then same thing with Sunken, which I don't remember where it is on the list. I think this, yep, Sunken, okay. Or if we actually go 2 parts down, because it's kind of hard to see. But right here, like this appears to be like the interior of a fallen ketch. But, you know, obviously it's EDZ, so what was this doing here? So these were the questions that we can now pose. Yeah, so you can see the little throne here. So this is the kind of stuff that Charm can do. You can look at different maps in the game, and then, you know, try to figure out how to get there and such. So, if this is all you're after, I mean, it's just a fun tool to look around and stuff, but I don't like this thing, especially since, like, if we look back at the full thing here, you can tell that things are messed up because you got, like, lines going everywhere, and the Shard of the Traveler is flat, and all sorts of stuff that isn't actually how it looks. So, instead what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take these two, and then, yeah, I'm going to just take those two, and I'm going to hit export. And it does take a minute, so we get to just sit here. Almost there. There we go. If we go back to our downloads in the new folder, here we go. We got our two import.blender like things, so now we can go and open up Blender. Just create a new instance here. And we can get going. One thing to note is that for the people that have never used Blender before, basic controls are like middle click to move around your camera, shift middle click to move around like that, zoom in and out with your scroll wheel, and if you want to get real fancy, you can hit shift tilde, and you have like a first person camera where you can then sort of like fly around and do that. So, very helpful stuff. But today we're going to go over to this scripting tab and then simply just drag in the Python file. And it'll just import that. There we go. And then Import. Oh, this one's. Yep, here we go. Okay. And now we're good to go. So we go back into layout, and then you notice that everything just kind of disappears. And that's because in Blender, by default, your view clip is really low. So you pop out this menu, go to view, and then just kind of add a bunch of zeros. And there you go. Now you can look at stuff. Obviously, I didn't extract the entire map, so we only got a small portion of it. But once again, we can look at the structure. Hitting Shift tilde again, then you can kind of go outside and walk through and see what it's like to be in this map. Except, hang on, I gotta use scroll wheel so I'm not going as fast. But yeah, so you can look at things like these walkers, which kind of tipped me off to say that this is not new terrain by any means. And in fact, my personal theory is that this is left over from the fact that the EDZ is technically one of the oldest destinations in Destiny. Obviously, it was cut from D1, but I think given that these are the old kind of Fallen Walker, unless they're planning on adding them later very soon, like, it's not something that's gonna be new. But we aren't entirely sure on that one. And by the way, if you're curious, this is not something involving the new season, because these files have been here since like probably started D2. We can't really tell. I mean, it doesn't work with like Witch Queen or pre-Witch Queen packages. So, anyways, that's kind of this. Of course, if you're inclined to do actual like map texturing and stuff, obviously then you'd go into something like the shading tab over here. And like start working, because one of the great things about the charm system here is that it automatically imports all of the textures into your thing, so for the purposes of just looking at the map, it's kind of useless because you'd have to go in and actually like do material work, and generally all we need is the solid view. But yeah, also the sunken load. It's got a fish. No idea what that's about. Also weird like reflective patterns and such. Anyways, so I guess I should probably talk about Sunken, because technically speaking, we know where it could be. If I go ahead and close that Blender, I don't really care to save it. If we go back over to Charm, and then we zoom in on over here, you're going to notice these 3 boxes, or 4 boxes. I cannot count. They're sitting, you know, pretty close to the sunken thing. So that's pretty cool. But what you can do actually is that you can say go to Mavic Square and hit view. And once it loads, wouldn't you know, the box is still there. And so for that's kind of the thing, is that the camera view stays the same in an editor like this, and then obviously if you were to import all of the sunken maps and then all of the Mavic Square maps into the same Blender file, you could see different maps sort of overlaid on each other. So we were able to find that for whatever reason, Mavic Square also has these boxes. And this is not just like somewhere normal. This is like, here's the map, like here's kind of the courtyard right outside of the reservoir. So this is out in the middle of the lake, where, you know, obviously something like a sunken ship might be. But for whatever reason, the boxes are here. So we already went out and looked. I obviously didn't make a video on it or anything. It was just a simple sync box out of... I don't actually... Now that I think about it, I haven't made a sync box video. Anyways, Yeah, so we found these boxes. Once again, I can flash in a screenshot of me standing in front of, or I think on top of the boxes. And yeah, there really nothing came of it. But that's the power of Charm, is that you can sort of see these connections between the load zones and find out what's out there. Additionally, by the way, middle clicking the tabs there will get rid of them. Additionally, you can look and see all of the activities in the game. Like I can fit like what voyage hideouts, like different things that haven't technically been in the game yet. I should probably not have mentioned that you can look at early content early, but whatever. It's fine. You'd figure it out yourself. But yeah, that's charm. Um, Obviously, there's a lot to play around with here. I like going through the list in the dynamics tab because you can always find some funky things out here in the land of dynamics. But that is outside the scope of the video, so I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you for watching. Um, yeah, I apologize for not making videos, but I mean, like I said, I'm back in college, and aerospace engineering is not exactly the most friendly for having other hobbies. Additionally, there isn't really too much to do in the game. Like, I don't know, I don't want to step on the feet of Froggy, who's about to make a Kingsfall video, stuff like that. So, yeah. But anyways, thank you for watching and sticking around, even though that this is pretty much a completely inactive channel. And yeah, pretend there's a cool outro.